As I mentioned, this week we are in Epiphany, and still in Epiphany. And normally, if it's a long season of Epiphany can be 5 weeks to 9, depending on when Easter falls. This year it's on the short side. So we can get weeks and weeks and weeks of the Sermon on the Mount. This year we just get 2 weeks, which is not enough. And so I'm going to kind of try to skip through chapter 5 a little bit. But these verses are, again, really familiar to people. Like, even if you've never walked into church, a lot of it's just kind of out there in the, just kind of familiar, like in movies and just regular teachings. But it's also clear in Matthew's gospel that Jesus is a teacher. He's a liberator, he's a healer, he's a miracle worker, but he's a teacher. Matthew's trying to show us that this Jesus is like Moses, he's like a rabbi, this is like a continuation of the Jewish people. So there's kind of that shows up in here. And it sounds like, really a rough hill to climb, the kind of lines that are kind of offered up here, but there's a grace in here. So I'll just do the Beatitudes, the blessings, and then skip to a few more of the verses a little later in chapter 5. It goes all the way through chapter 7. When Jesus saw the crowds, he went up the mountain, and after he sat down, his disciples came to him. Then he began to speak and taught them, saying, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the reign of heaven. Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they will receive mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when people revile you and persecute you and utter all kinds of evil against you falsely on my account. Rejoice and be glad, for your reward is great in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you." And then it kind of goes on with more familiar teachings. And then this kind of the conclusion of chapter 5. "You have heard that it was said, 'You shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy.' But I say to you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, so that you may be children of your Creator in heaven. For God makes the sun rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the righteous and on the unrighteous. For if you love those who love you, what reward do you have? Do not even the tax collectors do the same? And if you greet only your brothers and sisters, what more are you doing than others? Do not even the Gentiles do the same? Be perfect, therefore, as your heavenly Creator is perfect."